And it matches the story. I'm impressed. All right, guys. You're going to get another journal writing prompt from this.
Just because she wants to.
Okay. I Stand Here Ironing by Tilly Olson, presented by yours truly. Okay. The character is the narrator, an unnamed single mother who struggles to explain the aspects of her guilt about the lack of attention she's given to Emily throughout her childhood, which is her daughter. Her daughter is 19 years old, and Emily, who is a very independent child throughout her life, the narrator describes her as beautiful. Susan, the narrator's other daughter, she's 14 years old, and she feels like she outshines Emily. The teacher is the person who asks the questions to the narrator, makes her think about Emily's life. And Bill is her second husband that she remarries. The setting takes place during the Great Depression in World War II. The theme it shows the hardship of a single mother and her daughter's relationship during the Great Depression. This story does not fit the regular stereotypes of a mother and daughter relationship. It reveals a strong bond for each other during their hardship. I'm going to summarize this. I know. I'm going to summarize this. So basically in the story, Emily's teacher writes her mother, talks to her mother and asks her, I think Emily's future is in jeopardy, and she wants to discuss it with Emily, and she wants to improve her future. But the narrator is thinking to herself, and she's like, should I have my daughter talk to this her teacher and discuss her future, and does she really need to discuss her future, or should she just determine her future by the way she wants to? And she thinks about how her daughter and her go through these struggles because her husband left her when she was when Emily was born, a month or two after, and she was a single mother, and she always had to support Emily, and Emily was always all by herself, and because her mom had to work a lot of jobs. And even though her mom had to work a lot of jobs, they still had that mother-daughter relationship. And even when Emily went to this clinic after her operation for her tuberculosis, she still thought about her mother, even though she didn't spend that much time with her. And you could just tell that even though they don't spend time with each other really well, they still care about each other. And even though her mother remarries and she has a sister named Susan, that Susan's very jealous of Emily, that relationship doesn't get in the way of her and her mother's relationship. And then the symbols, the iron, when the narrator's thinking about this, writes in the story, the iron is she's ironing, so it represents the chores and responsibility that prevent the narrator from engaging with Emily's life and the narrator's care for her family. The clinic where Emily went, where she recovers from tuberculosis after her surgery, shows the narrator's inability to care for her child. And Emily's balcony represents the emotional distance between the narrator and her mother while Emily is recovering. And then I kind of discussed this already. Yeah, I'm going to skip this one because it's the summary I already kind of said. So, and then I have a video.
Good.
And there's
Nice
cats.
cat.
I love cats.
I'll show you how to do the volume on the screen.
Thanks.
So Tilly Olson was a socialist and a feminist. It's as high as it can be here. So it must be one of these little icons. Make it a full screen, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to try.
Yeah.
Wait, let me see something.
But she's very
So she was a socialist and a feminist.
Oh, that's the problem.
And a lot of people... So in this story, her mother gives up her daughter because she can't afford to take care of her. So the mother is judged very harshly in this story.
stand here ironing, even though it's not directly about her. She left high school after graduating to work at low-paying jobs at the start of the Great Depression. She gave birth to her first daughter, then moved to San Francisco and remarried. She later had 3 more daughters. Some of the ideas in the plot can relate to her life. I stand here ironing is about this mother who narrates as she is ironing. The mother thinks about how a teacher wants to help her daughter, Emily. She starts to reflect on the life she had with Emily from the start to now. Emily was born when the mother was only 19. The father leaves them. The mother is stuck raising her daughter alone during the Great Depression. The mother is forced to make other people take care of her daughter. Emily misses her mother a lot, but there's no other way the mother can provide food for her. The mother remarries and is having a new child named Susan. At that time, Emily starts to show signs of measles and is unable to see her mother and new sister, leaving her to feel alone. Emily never really recovers from the sickness and is very thin compared to her sister. Social workers persuade the mother to send her child to a clinic to help her get better. The clinic does not help Emily's status. She was given little freedom and not allowed to keep letters from her family. After weeks of not getting better, Emily is sent home. After returning home, Emily's appearance did not improve. She was nothing like Shirley Temple, who was an inspiration to other girls her age. The mother reflects on how Emily acts more and more like the mother to the other children as years go on while she is at work. Emily enters a talent show at her school doing imitation. She wins first prize and goes on to becoming famous. Olsen ends the story with the mother thinking she won't go in and talk to the teacher. She just wants her to let Emily be herself.
That's a little loud.
I know, that wasn't me. That's like how
Okay, don't make it loud. These kids listen to loud music every day. They
Okay.
listen to a loud video.
Alright. I'm sorry, guys.
You're good, Morgan. Keep going.
You're good, Morgan. You're
Keep
fine.
up the good work.
Thank you. As you can tell, I'm just very tired.
She is an
Alright, we'll go to characters.
The narrator is one of the big characters in the story because it's all about her life. She is an average mother who's trying to provide for her family. Most of her decisions she made in her life was forced upon her for the well-being of others. The Great Depression affected her life greatly, and the only way to provide for her child was to go out and work instead of spending time with Emily. The mother regrets putting Emily through hard times. The painful memories make her feel sick. The mother doesn't want her daughter to suffer anymore. She refuses to go in and talk to the teacher because Emily has her own life and will choose how to live it. Emily is only what is told from the narrator. The narrator was too busy with keeping her daughter alive that she didn't pay attention to Emily. Emily's looks stand out from other kids her age, making it difficult for people to like her. Compared to her sister Susan, she was thin with dark hair while Susan had copper curly hair. Emily's personality consists of being quiet and never complaining. She was seen as a child who didn't want to make life harder for her mother. But in the end, Emily finally shows who she is deep down in a school talent show. She shows her unique personality through her jokes and comedy act. Emily is starting to become a memorable person that everyone will know. The setting first takes place in present time with the mother ironing inside her home. Then the setting goes back in the past to the 1930s when the mother has her first daughter, Emily. The setting really shows how bad life was for the two. The Great Depression really affected their life. Jobs were barely available and buying food was a struggle. This impacts Emily's personality and appearance at the time. The next main setting was at the clinic Emily was sent to. This place only made it harder for Emily to get better. She wasn't allowed to keep letters from her family. The food she had to eat was not very healthy either. World War II during the 1940s also greatly affects the family. This setting of time causes Emily to help take care of her siblings because of her mother's new husband being in the war.
Good.
Oh yeah,
Nice job.
thank you. And then I wanted to say something about like the author, Toni Olsen. She's an American writer, the first generation of American feminists. She lived during the Great Depression, and then these are some of like the resources that I got because, yeah, and some of her like work.
Oh, can you put, see that plowshares down there?
Which one?
Go back to where you just were one screen ago, if you can.
Okay.
Okay, you see plowshares, advertise with plowshares,
At the
subscribe to plowshares.
Go up to
Up.
the right,
Okay.
right.
You're right.
Okay, yes.
I'm not advertising, I have no money, scroll up. Keep going, there you go.
Right here.
Does that say sign up, sign in for the plowshare, subscribe to plowshares?
Yeah.
Click on that for a second.
Okay.
This is a famous literary journal, so is it free?
No. $35.
Oh, well, that's what happens when you're a famous literary journal. Okay, I was gonna put it on the writer's rant for free, but they want money,
Okay.
bloodsuckers.
I know.
Okay.
Sure. And then this is another.
Oh, good.
Socialism. Yeah. So, and then these are some of the other, like, we're excited. And then the question, do you believe the narrator and Emily have a healthy mother-daughter relationship? Why or why not?
Okay, so keep in mind, this is a woman too poor to raise her own children, so she sends Emily
Wait,
away.
don't click away.
So she's
I know
very
I'm not going to.
partially judged by society for doing that.
Like, I'll just tell me when you're ready for me to click away.
No, just leave it.
It takes a while to write
Just
down.
leave it, Morgan. Leave it.
I'm gonna give you time to do this
Dysfunctional.
journal entry
I'm
because it'll
dysfunctional.